This is the story of Robin Hood. You can read along with me in your book. You will know it is time to turn the page when you hear the chimes ring like this. Let's begin now. Long ago, England was ruled by the wicked, greedy Prince John. He ordered the Sheriff of Nottingham to tax the people so heavily that some were forced to become outlaws. Two of the most famous outlaws were Robin Hood and Little John, who would steal the tax money from the sheriff and give it back to the poor. One day, Prince John was travelling by coach to Nottingham to pick up more tax money. He was so busy counting his gold that he didn't notice he was passing through Sherwood Forest, the home of Robin Hood. Nor did he see Little John and Robin Hood watching from a tree, looking at all the gold. They decided to pay the prince a little visit. In his coach, Prince John was talking to his counselor, Sir Hiss, about his favourite subject, gold. Life had been so wonderful since King Richard had left for the Crusades. He had treated the people too nicely and had missed out on all this lovely gold. How he loved gold! Robin Hood and Little John were standing by the roadside, disguised as lady fortune-tellers, when the coach passed by. Amused by the idea of having his fortune told, Prince John stopped his coach, and while Robin Hood told his fortune, he slipped the royal rings off the prince's fingers, and Little John helped himself to the gold. Prince John never even knew he had been robbed until Robin and Little John had escaped. Meanwhile, the greedy Sheriff of Nottingham was busy collecting taxes. He even took the coin that Mrs. Bunny had given her son Skippy for his birthday. The sheriff had no heart. Robin Hood didn't think little Skippy should go without presents on his birthday, so he gave him his bow and arrows and his hat. It was a little big, but he would grow into it. The first time Skippy tried the bow, his arrow flew over Prince John's castle wall. On the other side, Skippy saw Maid Marian and Lady Cluck. Even though Marian was related to Prince John, she was Robin's friend. Long ago, they had been childhood sweethearts. One day, Robin's friend, Friar Tuck, came to Sherwood Forest with some news. Prince John was going to hold an archery tournament the next day. Everybody knew that Robin was the best archer in all of England. However, if he were to go, he would surely be captured. But when Friar Tuck told him that Maid Marian would have a kiss for the winner, he changed his mind immediately. The next day, two strangers appeared at the tournament, a stork and a duke. Nobody would recognize Robin Hood and Little John in those disguises. Robin would win the tournament and claim the kiss, and no one would ever know that the winner was Robin Hood. Soon the stork and the sheriff were the only ones left in the contest. And even though the sheriff tried to cheat by having the target moved, the stork made an amazing shot and won. Prince John watched very closely. When Robin came to claim his prize, Prince John was ready. He proclaimed Robin the loser of the contest and ordered his guards to seize him. Robin was sentenced to immediate death. It looked like the end for Robin Hood, But suddenly Little John grabbed the prince. In the struggle, Robin got free and a big fight began. Robin Hood and Little John fought off the guards bravely. Swords clashed and arrows flew. Maid Marian was almost seized by the guards, but Robin climbed a pole, grabbed a rope and swung down to her rescue. Then he and his friends escaped into the woods. Safely back in Sherwood Forest, Robin and his band celebrated. Little John sang a song making fun of Prince John. It was so funny that soon all of Nottingham was singing it. Oh, but Prince John was angry when he heard the song. He would triple the taxes and make them pay. But of course, nobody could pay, and the prisons were full. The sheriff even robbed the church and arrested Friar Tuck for objecting. When Prince John heard Friar Tuck was in jail, he planned a new trap for Robin Hood. They would hang Friar Tuck in the morning, and when that thief Robin Hood came to the rescue, they would have him. But Robin Hood was a foxy fellow, and he planned the rescue for that night. He and Little John climbed the high castle wall. Then Robin, dressed as a guard, sneaked up to the sleeping Sheriff of Nottingham. Carefully, he stole the jail keys and gave them to Little John to open the cell doors. Everyone in the jail was surprised to see a familiar face enter the room, and they cried out for joy. John told them to be quiet as he began to free everyone. Meanwhile, Robin had climbed up into Prince John's bedroom, where all the gold was kept. Prince John and Sir Hiss were sound asleep. Robin tied the bags of gold to a rope rigged between the bedroom window and the jail. As the gold reached the jail, Little John took the bags off the rope and gave them to the escaping prisoners, telling them to take the gold and run. Just then, Prince John awoke, and he was horrified to see that all his precious gold had disappeared. He called to his guards to come immediately. The courtyard became a jumble of flying arrows, guards, and fleeing prisoners. Trapped in the castle by himself, Robin climbed a high tower to escape the guards. The sheriff ordered the guards to burn the tower with Robin inside. But Robin escaped by diving into the moat. All the sheriff's men fired arrows into the water, and when Robin's hat bobbed to the surface of the moat, Prince John was overjoyed, believing him to be done for at last. Even Little John thought Robin had drowned. Poor Robin. He never had a chance. Then up popped Robin from under the water. He was alive after all. He'd been breathing through a reed all along. Soon after Robin's narrow escape, good King Richard came back from the Crusades to take his place on the throne of England. Happiness returned to the land. Robin Hood and Maid Marian were married, and all their friends came to wish them well.